To continue with, you always have a choice. You always have a choice. And we're going to pick up with the reading from my new novel, Blurred Panes. Yesterday, we found out that Joseph J.G. Graham, our protagonist, is really strapped for money. He no longer is able to go and answer phones at the funeral home because Mr. Willie's daughter is back home from college, so she's answering the phones. And he got an application for a manpower job, but unfortunately all the jobs were taken up. But Mr. James takes his application anyway because he was so honest in saying that he was 13 and giving him a chance if someone, quits or gets fired. He promised Joseph to give him the slot. But Joseph is like this. He's a very motivated, self-motivated kid, and he knows how to make things work on his own. So he runs into Ox, one of his old friends from FCC. That's the crew that Joseph ran around with before it disbanded. Ox quit school last year because he had to take care of his ailing grandmother, and it's just his grandmother and Ox, because she was diagnosed with cancer. Man, you got to read book 2 to find that's one of the best scenes in book 2 when Ox quits, like right in the middle of gym class. It is and then the kids are explaining it to the other kids, like really what happened. Man, really good scene. So now Ox is in like chapter 2 and 3 of this new book. You got, and we call him the Ox because he's this oversized kid. You know how that kid in the neighborhood, the man child, and everybody else is like 4'3" and he's like 5'2" when you're growing up. So Joseph Graham used to check Ox's homework on the way to school. And we have kids that are like that. That kid never missed school. He was in tough situation, eating mayonnaise sandwiches, doing the wash for his mom, his grandmom, and him, trying to make it. And it just, the weight got so heavy on him in book 2 till he just left school at 14. So now Joseph Graham is cashing in on one of his favors that Ox owes him. And Ox told him he'll introduce him to Silk Jenkins. And Silk is the underworld boss in Midtown. There's kids that's delivering packages, running errands for the hoods to earn money. And Joseph promised himself and his older brother, Lavelle, that he wasn't going to work the streets anymore because the streets was dangerous. He had avoided gunfire in a shootout when he was shining shoes. He avoided a scorpion sting that almost killed him. He avoided the cops in a race riot that almost tracked him down and beat him to death. And he almost drowned. So he had enough of that life. But he needed money. But we always have a choice. So I'm going to pick up the reading from yesterday as Ox is getting ready to introduce him to Silk Jenkins. All right. Here we go. Yeah, Silk and his generals play cards at Nikki's. Nikki's is where Silk lives with his girlfriend. On Friday until about 6 o'clock. We'll have to run for some smokes, sodas, and to Larry's for some sandwiches. We may have to deliver a package or two. And Jay, don't ever look in the package. Don't ask what's in the package. Don't do exactly what they tell you to do with the package. No questions. Got it? Ox schooled me. Got it. Thanks, Ox. No problem. Glad I could help you out, man. He put his arms around my shoulders and pulled me to him. This is always the challenge, getting this old compact to stroll down. As we approached Nikki's apartment, my heart tugged at my feet, tried to make me turn around and go home. But I was just turned down for a paycheck job less than an hour ago. I was desperate. I knew if I was going to stand a chance at winning Silk over, I had to turn on my street. I needed to put my heart into it, but it wanted nothing to do with Silk. So I forced my mind to override the caution of my ticker. I flipped the switch. As we arrived at the door, Ox gave the secret knock. Nikki answered. "Hi, Ox," she greeted. "Who's your friend?" she asked. "Hi, Nikki. This Jay. Jay, this Nikki." "Silk is expecting us," said Ox. "Hi, Nikki," I spoke in a deeper tone. "Hi, Jay." "Silk's in the kitchen, Ox," said Nikki. "Thanks, Nikki." "Wait here," he told me and walked into the kitchen. Nikki pretended, "Okay, thanks. Have a seat," said Nikki. "Thanks." I sat in a large high-back purple chair near the door. Nikki pretended to straighten things up, but kept an eye on me. Her nightgown and shapely body kept my attention. I gave her a smile occasionally. "Come on," said Ox, reappearing from the kitchen. I got up and walked with him into the kitchen. Silk sat at the head of the table, counting his money, rolls of 20s, 10s, and 5s stacked in front of him, bound together in a rubber band. A .45 pistol was sat on the table next to him. With his permed hair wrapped in a multicolored scarf, gold shined, diamonds sparkled around his neck and fingers. He stopped counting and looked up at me. "Silk, this Jay," Ox introduced me. "How you doing, Mr. Silk?" I said. "Sit down, Jay." Ox tells me, "You're looking for work." "Yes, sir," I answered. Took a seat on his right. Ox stood next to me. "You know these streets?" he asked. "Yes, sir. I knows these streets like the back of my hand. I've been working them since I was 9, I answered. Ox nodded in agreement. "Doing what?" asked Silk. "You's name it, I's did it. Selling fruit, shining shoes, robbing the cigarette machines, soda machines, the phone booths, the wash house, sweeping floors, cleaning the pool hall, gambling cards with adults, anything to make a buck." His eyes stretched wide. "You ever run errands?" he asked. "Every day, for the barbershop and the card game. I know where's to get what you want." Notice how Joseph's dialect has changed. He went back to his street. Remember he said that. "Aren't you Ike Graham's boy?" he asked. "Yes, sir." "You don't need my money. Why you want to work for me?" he asked. "If I didn't need money, I wouldn't be here, sir." Ox said, "You a fair man." He said, "If I work hard, I get paid." What is Ike gonna say if he finds out you working for me? He said. "Well, he don't know, won't hurt him," I said. Crickets. My mind, my heart, and my nerves was beyond frantic. But I had to stay calm. I gave Silk that "I don't care" stare, meaning I don't give a flying fudge whether you hire me or not. Because if you don't hire me, I'll just go to another boss and get paid. That was the street mentality. I don't need you. It was crazy how I morphed back into the look, the language, and the attitude. My heart didn't want to be in there, but my mind made it clear I was broke with no job in sight. He stood up. Look, Jay, I'm going to give you a chance this weekend. If you do good, I'm going to keep you. But you got to keep your mouth shut about what you hear and see. You don't say a word to nobody. You hear? He put his hand on his gun. Drops of pee dripped in my shorts. Yes, sir. Not a word to nobody. Thanks, Mr. Jenkins. I won't let you down, I said. I assured, sorry. I hope not. And call me Silk. Now here, go get me some Luckies. Stay here, Ox. I need to talk to you. He passed me a $5 bill and sat back down in his seat. Ox walked me into the living room. Use the secret knock when you come back, he said. I nodded and moved quickly to get Silk's smokes. Ox had become a lieutenant over the runners. He was 15 and was big and strong. That's why we called him Ox. He was as strong as an ox. While I was away, Silk grilled him. Who was I? What did I like or dislike? Who were my friends? Could I be trusted? Was I truthful? Did I know any cops? By the time I returned with the cigarettes, Silk's generals had arrived for the card game. I gave Silk his Luckies. He told me to keep the change and introduced me to the group. This is Jay. I'm trying him out for the weekend. I nodded to everyone. Aren't you Ike Graham's boy? One of the generals asked. And who are you, 5-0? Why are you asking me that? I fired back. The group laughed. He turned and stood over me. Red, don't you know I'll wring your little chicken neck, he growled. No disrespect, sir, but if it's you wring my neck, then who's gonna go get your smokes and your food and your drink during the card game? I said humbly. The table chuckled, looking at their cards. He's got a point, said Silk, still looking at his cards. Okay, Red, here, go get us some sodas. He passed me two $1 bills. I took the money and the orders. Ox smiled at me with his eyes. I gave him a wink, and out the door I went once again. Being a wise-mouthed street punk wasn't my thing anymore, but I had to sell it to get the job. After I returned, a group of runners showed up at the door to work the game. Ox sent most of them away to work with the thugs. He let two of them stay. We spent the afternoon at the beck and call of Silk and the three generals. We made food, smoke, and had soda runs all afternoon. Then it got serious. Nikki, Silk called out to her. Bring me them bags, he said. Uh-oh, it's getting serious. A couple minutes later, Nikki appeared. Here you go, baby, she said, placing the bags on the floor next to him and giving him a kiss for good luck. Come here, Ox. Here's the list. Tell him what to do and to hurry back with my money. Silk gave his orders. My time, I got to go. Let you in on it. Ox is getting ready to give out the bags to go make deliveries. Can you imagine what's in the bags? Stay tuned. This is your boy, Cy Emery, a.k.a. Coach Cook, saying, let your light shine. Let it shine bright for the whole world to see. Goodbye for now, and God bless.